Hey everybody, this is Al Johnson from the Al Johnson Show, and this is my review for episode 4 of Ahsoka. Now, before we get started, number one, there will be spoilers because I'm going to talk about the episode, especially the ending, so be forewarned. Number two, I want to say quickly, yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of when I returned to YouTube, and all I'll say is this, to not bore you with anything. There was a number of years where I kept having, I kept wanting to come back to YouTube, but never had the opportunity to because I was just scared and I didn't know if I wanted to do this anymore, because it's like, well, I gave it a fair shot, it didn't turn out well, it was what it was. But then, my family and just, I guess that little voice in my head was all like, hey, why not come back to YouTube? You might have better content to make. But I wasn't sure. But yeah, I did. And ever since 1 year ago yesterday, it has gone, I would say, really well. Meaning I hit over 100 subscribers, which is still crazy to think about. So I want to take this time to say thanks to everybody who not only tuned in to that video when I returned to YouTube, but has tuned in to every video since then. Since I returned, and honestly, just thank you all for watching. And I see a big dog up ahead, so hold that thought. And now we're back. So yeah, thank you guys who have tuned in to watch my channel over the last year that I've been back. And let's keep this train rolling. And speaking of trains, number 3, you guys want to still be a part of the journey that is the Al Johnson Show, or you want to come on board the Al Johnson Show, make sure you do the following. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, make sure you click the notification bell whenever new videos are released. Now let's begin. And folks, episode 4 of Ahsoka. I'm going to go on record and say that this might be the best episode of the show until otherwise. Or maybe by the time you watch this, since we are basically an hour away, less than an hour away from the newest episode, maybe episode 5 will be better. I don't know. But this episode was really, really good. I want to highlight the music. The music is really, really quite nice. Kevin Kiner, who did music before with, I believe, Rebels. This is my first time hearing this dude, and man. My fault there, sorry. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the music, really, really, really nice. Sorry about that. I thought I heard something. But yeah, the music was really nice. Something about, especially the music, when we had the double fight between Ahsoka, Sabine, and Malak, and Shin Hati, and especially with Ahsoka and Balin. The music was really quite nice for that, and especially at the end. I really enjoyed the music there. The music for this show so far has been very samurai-esque, very samurai-inspired, which I quite like. I also like the camaraderie between our 3 main protagonists and our 3 main, I guess you could say, antagonists. Obviously, what the idea for the show is we're still waiting for. We're still waiting for Grand Admiral Thrawn, and we're still probably waiting for Ezra Bridger. But with the characters we have, Ahsoka, Sabine, how do you say his name? Hu Yang, yeah, there you go. And of course, Shin, Balin, and Morgan Elsbeth. Those are really nice characters. I really like them. But also, the two main things I wanted to highlight is, well, one is the dialogue. I mean, also I forgot the action. The action itself was really, really good. I mean, I briefly said it in what comes to the music, but the action itself was really, really quite nice. Not just the lightsaber battle, but it's almost like I also enjoyed when our characters basically do their thing. Because well, honestly, there's just something about seeing Ahsoka with a lightsaber, and especially seeing Baylan Skoll use a lightsaber, other than what he did in the first episode, that really had my attention throughout the episode. But I want to touch on like very noteworthy things about the three main battles with Shin, Hati, and Sabine. First time they fought, it was almost like a one-way street with Shin. Like, obviously she won that one because, well, Sabine hasn't kept up with her training. This one, I mean, it wasn't too much of, okay, she stepped up her training, but it was somewhat of a better fight this time around. And the way Sabine basically held her own while in Mandalorian armor was quite nice. Ahsoka and Malik. And let me say this too. There were a lot of people who swore up and down they had Malik figured out. You know, he was in a helmet. He was shrouded in mystery. Everybody swore up and down who it was. Then when it came to be that he wasn't what they thought he was, it was almost like people were disappointed. Let me just say, there were lots of theories about who he was. I'm not going to say that I didn't believe them. There were plausibilities, but I didn't believe them. Was I surprised at what Malik was? Yes. Was I disappointed in what he was? Initially, yes. But I did do research, and then I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. Weird, but it does make sense. But Ahsoka and Baylan. Honestly, while the lightsaber duel was really quite nice, I really liked the bits of dialogue thrown in, especially from Baylan Skoll. I mean, rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. What an intriguing character. I mean, him and Shin Hati are very intriguing characters. Same goes for Ahsoka. But Baylan Skoll, so much mystery surrounding him, like the way he talked about Anakin, the way he talked about why it is necessary for Thrawn to cause a war among the galaxy, talking to Sabine about Ezra and why allegedly Ahsoka is the reason why Sabine doesn't have her Mandalorian family, and just the way he speaks with his words. And the words he said to Sabine were enough to make Sabine hand over the map. Now again, if you were upset by this, like, oh come on Sabine, why would you do that? Y'all knew it was coming. For the story to keep going along, she had to do that. Even if what he's saying might be a lie. But knowing how much this character, Baylan Skoll, has quite a bit of conviction in him, I don't think that he has any reason to lie. But that's just me. And also, another thing I want to highlight, that little big hyperspace ring when all the spaceships came out, led by Hera and Carson Teva from Mandalorian, the way they came out there, and then once the hyperspace ring like powered up and there was that big old explosion destroying two of those spaceships. To quote Hera's son Jason, I got a bad feeling about this. Yes, I know that was Han Solo's line, but I'm just saying. But enough about all that. Enough about, you know, those cool stuff. Y'all want to know about the ending? Okay, let's talk about the ending. So Ahsoka was she was defeated by Balin. For now, she'll come back. But then she just went over the cliff and presumably fell to her death, allegedly. But then we had this great little camera trick where we see the ocean, we see the waves, and then when we keep seeing the waves, we see this little magical thing where Ahsoka is in, and Ahsoka wakes up. And apparently she's in this thing known to Star Wars lore as the World Between Worlds. In basic details, think of the World Between Worlds as basically Star Wars version of, time travel, the multiverse, stuff like that. But different. One thing I will give Star Wars this, along with Marvel and DC, yes, all of them basically tackle time travel and multiverse and space and time and all that, but they do it differently. And also, I did see pictures of what it looked like in animation from Rebels. For live action, quite a different animal. But as Ahsoka is in this little weird space, all of a sudden we hear two words. Hello Snips. And if you're a Star Wars fan, particularly Clone Wars fans, and you heard Snips, you automatically knew who it was. I did research and I already knew who it was right when I heard Snips. And then the voice says, I didn't expect to see you so soon. And then Ahsoka is like, trying to remember. Sorry. Nigga, this is what that jump. Sorry about that. I just noticed there was another big dog, so I had to walk my way around. So apologies for that. But yeah, I'll try to remember what I was saying. But yeah, Ahsoka, she hears his voice and she says, "Master," and then she turns around, and there was freaking Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, modeled after what he looked like in Clone Wars / Revenge of the Sith. And look, yes, it was cool when he popped up in Obi-Wan. It's still cool when he popped up in here. I knew in advance he was going to pop up in there because I read he would be in there. But just the fact that he showed up and just him smiling when he sees Ahsoka, and then the screen cuts to black, and you hear a bit of Vader's music after the episode ends. Man, so many questions. Is that really Anakin? If it's not Anakin, who is he? Why does he look like Anakin? Why is Ahsoka in the World Between Worlds? What is going on? Hopefully, when this episode comes out, episode 5, our questions will be answered. But then again, we might have more questions. And honestly, man, this show has been very entertaining in the first half, but I feel like the second half is going to get a lot more insane. And that's what I'm hopeful for, that it gets more insane. But folks, that's it for my thoughts on episode 4 of Ahsoka. Did you see episode 4 of Ahsoka? How did you feel seeing Anakin Skywalker? Remember, this is spoilers. How did you feel seeing Anakin? Is that really Anakin? Or is that somebody else pretending to be Anakin? Let me know down below. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe for more. Click the notification bell for new videos. And as always, guys, may the Force be with you. Because I've been Al Johnson and you're not. Deuces.